Hey y'all, it's Sharla from the Hartsville Homestead, back with you on the Creative Retreat Kids YouTube channel with my reflection journal entry for this month's kit, Name Above All Names. My background is going to be pretty simple. I'm using a piece of white, kind of a faux wood panel scrapbook paper. I know I'm going to be doing a lot of patterns and colors and layering in this entry, so I wanted a simple background. I love the texture and kind of the vintage feel to this paper, but I didn't want it to be quite so bright and defined. So I'm fading the background out just a little bit with some acrylic paint, white acrylic paint, just putting kind of a dry brush over it, layering and layering until I get it to kind of fade out. I do take a little bit of the Harvest Gold Creative Retreat Pigment ink and blend that around also just to give it a little bit of a woodsy, worn feeling to my paper and background. I want to keep the vertical board seams from competing with the tree that I'm going to be building on the right side. So that's really kind of another reason that I'm doing this kind of fading the background technique. Now, some of you may remember last year, November, December, I'm not exactly sure which month, I created a little scrappy paper tree in my Luke journal. I used some of the paper swatches, pattern pieces in the digital kit at the time and cut them randomly and built me a little, just a little scrappy tree. And I absolutely loved it. So this year, I decided to recreate that idea for my last entry in this altered book. I have been working through this altered book for the year, and I want to, it's really kind of starting to compromise. And so I spaced it out so that I could finish out the calendar year in it. And so this will be the last entry in that project. Now, I'm going to be building a simple tree shape using some of our beautiful washi's from this month and then also some of the past kits as well. I've just kind of picked a few out that would coordinate, go together, and I'm going to be using those to build this tree. All I'm doing is tearing each side of the washi strip at an angle, starting with the widest strip to fill it all the way across the bottom of the page. And I'm going to be just using a shorter piece each time. And I'm alternating patterns, colors, etc. as I move upward. I'm also layering some on top of each other, not exactly, butting one edge right up to the next. I'm layering just to build a little texture and give it a little more interest. Such a fun little project to work on while I think about this month's study. Jan truly brought our focus and attention to the true gift of Christmas with this month's study, and she unwrapped the I Am names of Jesus, revealing God's abundant gifts for a full life in Him. Oh, I have thoroughly enjoyed working my way through each of these in my scripture writing, as well as other creative entries. I really hope you've picked up this kit or at least a digital copy of the devotional so that you can have it, because this study is certainly one to come back to again and again and then even continue building on. I've added a light gold touch around my pages with the little diamond art mark from last month's stamp kit. Now, there were a couple sizes, outlines and solids, and I've used those interchangeably around with just a little bit of the a gold ink that I had, a little small inch square ink pad that I had in my stash. But it's a little bit subtle and maybe a little bit light for you to be able to see it on screen, but it is there, and it kind of starts to bring the two pages together. Now, I pulled the beautiful script stamp Jesus from this month's coordinating stamp kit. Absolutely love it. Then I layered it over the print Emmanuel. Then further built my title with the script stamp King. I repeated it, King, and then left a space and put King again so that I could go in with just a sort of a coordinating matching stamp that I had in my stash and put of in the middle. And then I just kind of added a hand letter trying to mimic the font that was in the stamp so that it could read King of Kings. And I just love how the little title came together. It's a simple layout, black and white coloring, and it just keeps the focus on Jesus and it keeps it simple and with a good statement. And that's really what I was trying to do with this. I didn't want to overclutter it. I wanted it to be just kind of in the forefront and calm. on that side of the page. I used a little splatter stamp from this month's kit just to bring a little more interest around both pages. I used the black to tie in with the black lettering in my title, and I just feel like it unified the spread and brought it together into one complete look. I've really enjoyed working in this altered vintage book reflection journal and have been tossing around ideas for next year's reflection project. I try to use each month's kit for a variety of projects. I use it for a week of my scripture writing, a note card, at least one Bible entry, sometimes more, and then a reflection. And for this case this year, I'd been doing this journal. It's all done at different times throughout the month to keep me going back to the devotional and help me to learn more, go back and remind myself what we've studied, and just kind of deepens what I've learned. I sure hope that y'all enjoy a wonderful Christmas season. Thank you for being here with me today. Y'all have a blessed day.